Welcome! In this lesson, we are going to review and learn about multiples. Now, a multiple is any number multiplied by any other number. For example, the multiples of 1 are any number multiplied by 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. You might say you're multiplying, or rather counting, by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are all multiples of 1. In fact, every number is a multiple of 1. Every integer, every whole number is a multiple of 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm just counting by ones. Now, to show this work with the 100 paper, we just use either a colored pencil or the highlighter in the iPad here to highlight or sort of color these multiples. Now I'm kind of looking here. The goal here is to highlight or color all of the multiples of 1. So I'm just going to go ahead and color or highlight all the multiples of 1. It's really pretty straightforward. Nothing to it. Now, when I'm done with this highlighting or coloring, I'm going to look at what I have finished here, and I'm going to ask myself, what patterns do I notice? Well, the pattern for multiples of 1 seems really simple to me. It seems to me that the pattern for multiples of 1 are that I have colored every number. So what pattern do I notice? I would say the pattern that I notice is that, well, I'm going to go ahead and write that down. Use a complete sentence here. I'm going to say, I colored every number. And what does that mean? That means, well, I suppose every number, or every integer, every whole number, is a multiple of 1, is a multiple of 1. Okay, nice. Now I have finished my multiples of 1. Moving on here, multiples of 2. So I'm actually just going to repeat that same process, and this time it will be multiples of 2. So again, we're just counting by 2. So that looks like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, I'm going to try that again. So starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm counting by 2s. Another way to think about this might be using the bead bars that we have in class. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'm counting by 2s. Now, I'm going to go ahead and color just the multiples of 2, and to be consistent, I'll continue to use the colors that we use for bead bars in class. So here that would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, using a green pencil or highlighter if you're using the iPad. And I would just continue to count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, so on and so forth, continuing to color or highlight those multiples of 2. Now, when I'm done, I'm going to just take a look at what pattern do I notice now that I've finished this work. Well, I notice a couple things. I notice that I have, I've colored every other number, and I notice that it makes straight columns, straight vertical columns up and down. Is there anything else that you notice about the numbers? Are they even or odd numbers that I've colored in here? Are multiples of 2 even or odd numbers? What patterns do you notice? So go ahead and record that, and then you're ready to move on. You'll continue this work until you have found the multiples of all of the numbers. Let's see here. Multiples of 3, that would be pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24, 27, 30. Let's see here. What patterns do I notice now? I'm going to record those at the bottom. How about multiples of 4? That would be yellow, so I'm going to choose a yellow color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, 20. So continuing this, this work using the same kind of method here to color the multiples of the numbers. I'll just review briefly what the colors are. And the important thing here too is just to remember that you start with kind of 0 and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and that you don't get kind of confused when you have to shift down a row to the next row. Just make sure that you're counting carefully, leaving the same number of uncolored numbers between each multiple. See how there's always 3 blank numbers between each multiple? So this is going to be 1, 2, 3 blank numbers till I get to 32. Just wanted to point that out. That's something I see sometimes students having a bit of trouble with. And when I'm done with that, moving on to multiples of 5. And again, each time recording what patterns I notice. 5 is light blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, etc. Next up, multiples of 6. 6 is like purple or kind of a periwinkle color sometimes. I got a nice one here. In fact, actually, I'll use this. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. Finish that up. What patterns do I notice? Now we have to do it for all of the numbers, and this packet then, these materials that we've kind of created and colored are going to be useful for the next work that we do. The next one's white. The next color is white. Students are always like, how do I draw white onto white paper? Well, for 7, we're going to go ahead and just circle the number 7. It's kind of like we made a white, placed like a white color on top of it. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, etc. Noticing that in between each one we have these 6 empty numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice how in between each multiple we have the same number of numbers that are not colored in. Okay, that would be 7s. Next up are 8s, which are brown. So do I have a good brown color here? There we go. 8, 16. All right, and so on and so forth. What pattern do I notice here? 9s, which are dark blue. And honestly, you'll probably find a better dark blue color than that. 10s, which are gold. And for gold, I think I'll probably use maybe a bright orange color, kind of like that. That would be 10, 20, 30, 40. What patterns do I notice for my multiples of 10? And that is it for this work. So if you've done this work on paper, just take pictures, very clear, careful pictures of all 10 pages. And if you did this work on your iPad, you can just upload it by pressing the up arrow at the top left corner of your screen. That's to send. We'll send it to, on the very bottom, other apps. Share note, and you'll be able to send it as copy it to Schoology, where you'll find this class this week for math, and you'll find the multiples work there to submit it to. That's it for this work. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, have some fun. It's a fun coloring work that I think you'll enjoy.